Alright, so these are my new traps from this year. I got my dye pot starting to preheat. So I just kind of took them and cabled them off with just aluminum wire, a couple sets of them, and I'm using the logwood trap dye. Didn't really have time to go homemade with it this year. Maybe next year I'll show a video on that, but for now I just took that packet, put it in my pot, and then filled it about halfway full. Basically I just want to make sure my traps are gonna be submerged completely in there, and that's probably about 2.5 gallons of water. Those packets don't really have instructions on how much water to use, and so my thought is the less you can use to get all your traps submerged, the better. It's going to be more concentrated. So that's the idea. You can also put some natural things from your area in here, like leaves and stuff that have a natural aroma, and that a little bit of that will stick to your traps. At least that's what I've read. So I tried that. I put some cherry bark in there because I had some split cut up cherry in my backyard, so I just threw that in there. But next step is to wait for this to start boiling, back it off to like a simmer, and then throw the traps in for a little while. So I'll get back to you with that. Alright, so we're gonna take these and throw them in there. It's ready to roll, and basically put this on the edge so we can get to it. And this, I already have one set of traps in there. I can move them around to get this set in. Anyway, that's the idea. You want to get them submerged and leave them in there for about an hour. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so they've been in there for about an hour, and I'm going to take this set out. Show you. So that's basically it, and you can probably see, we'll give you a comparison. You can see that you know, some of that section where that rust didn't stick and came off when I washed it off. They're pretty silvery still from the metal, but you can see where it was rusty, the difference. They're pretty black. That's alright. Not great, but not terrible. I'll take it. Alright, so that's the second batch, and basically I have this log, or this board set up, and I just wrap the wire around it. Whoops, I had to do with one hand, but I'm just letting them dry on here. So there you have it. We'll let them dry, and then we'll get to the wax next. Alright, so we got our wax in this old galvanized bucket. I got 3 pounds in there right now. Got it on this lowest setting it can go for heat. And you want to be careful with wax because it does have a flash point. It'll ignite under a certain temperature. It'll just spontaneously ignite. So you don't want to hit that temperature. If you do, you want to have like a lid or something readily available to snuff out the flames. Don't use water. That will just spread the flames and spread the wax. So anyway, I have it in this old galvanized bucket because it's pretty narrow, so I should be able to use as little wax as possible to get more coverage on my traps. I do have 2 more pounds right here ready to go if I need it, but hopefully the 3 pounds will just do me good. And then I am maybe planning on using the extra wax because it is odorless to make some wax dirt. So but this is the setup, and basically I just gotta wait for those to melt down. Alright, so I got all my wax melted. I had to add 1 more pound, so I have 4 pounds in there. I didn't think the level was high enough, and once it all melted, I put the flame on the lowest possible setting. You can crank it up once you get a little bit of wax on the bottom, but you don't want to burn the wax because that will create an odor. So basically we're sitting right here, it's all liquefied, and we got it on the lowest setting. So now I take a trap, and I just got it hooked onto a piece of wire. I'm going to dip it in, try to get all the sides covered as quickly as possible, and then I want to let it sit in there for a little while and normalize to the same temperature as the wax. So that takes about, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes, depending on how big your trap is, but these ones shouldn't take too long. So we're letting it normalize temperature, and then we'll pull it out. I'll show you that. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes, and I also kind of flipped it once or twice while I was waiting. Kind of left it like that for a little bit, let the jaws heat up also. Left the chain in there, let that heat up. So it's all about the same temperature, that's what you want. And then basically just kind of shake it off. Get as much of the wax as you can off. You just want a very, very thin coating. So that's kind of the example you're looking for. Very thin coating, and you don't really want it dripping all that much. And as you can see, mine's dripping just a little bit, so that's good. If it is dripping when you pull it out, that is a good sign, because that means your trap is as hot as the wax. So that's about all there is to it. I hang this up, let the wax solidify, and that trap's done. So you don't want to touch them after you get the wax on with bare hands. Always use gloves. But yeah, that's all there is to it, to dyeing and waxing. So good luck out there, and go ahead and check out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching.